What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason&Jabari Gaming, and today we have 6 new rank 3 champions for past and present metas. So we ended up taking up Icarus as one of these 6 champions that I will be presenting to you guys today. And this was actually for the previous meta, which was Rich Get Richer. He has an interesting kit. I've always been a fan of this champion. I've just recently acquired him and duped him. So basically on your light attacks, his or your opponent's, he gains this buff, and once he gets 10 of those, his special 2 will be unblockable, which causes incinerate damage. When he throws his special 1s, you take unavoidable damage. And also there was a Rich Get Richer, so I was considering putting him in my deck, which I did have him in my deck for maybe one tournament match. I think he's really good. I think champions that are causing unavoidable damage and can be versatile are some of the best options that you should have for your deck. I've said that time and time again, and Icarus is no exception. I'm not very well versed in how to play Icarus like that, but I know enough in order to play him quite effectively if needed. The reason why I didn't keep him in my mainstay deck was a couple other reasons, and actually one of them is coming up. So I think yeah, one of them should be coming up soon. But yeah, I am a fan of this champion. He did do his job, so to speak. Mainly on defense is what I used him for when I was using him, and yeah, he can hit pretty hard when ramped up, but the ramp up time, it depends on how well you can use him, I would say. But yeah, honestly, I am a fan of this champion. He was pretty good, and he served his purpose. So the next meta coming up is about armor ups, so he's not really going to have too much of a place in my deck, but who knows for future metas what it entails. I mean, I do like to have a lot of options to throw my opponents off, to throw moves at them that they haven't seen and things of that nature, right? All right, so there he is in all of his glory. I think he's Sig 40 now. I'm not entirely sure, but I always do this at the end of a champion's level up. I go over their abilities and scroll up real quick for you guys to see. If you want to see that, just press pause. Okay, so the next champion is Mole Man. I was not a huge fan of Mole Man, and I'm still not the biggest fan of Mole Man, but I have to admit he is a extremely good Battlegrounds champion. He's very versatile. He's a stall option. He's a beefy boy. He has shock immunity, and even if he doesn't have any immunities towards a certain debuff, he can shrug it and add on to his monster mass, which then, you know, he can go unblockable and unstoppable on some of his attacks on his SP2, and then he starts to hit really hard. If you're running 5 out of 5 deep wounds, he can be extremely nasty. Even if you're not running 5 out of 5, he can cause significant damage. So that's the reason why I ended up taking him up. He does not gain buffs, so the Rich Get Richer really doesn't benefit him, but what he has in his base kit was enough, in my opinion. I mean, he does go unstoppable, so that can be a buff, and unblockable on his special 2, so that can be a buff as well. Neither are what do you call it, neither are passive, so that's good. That can feed the Rich Get Richer offensively or defensively. If you hit into his block while he has his monster mass up, he'll go unstoppable and whack you. So yeah, man, he's a pretty good champion in my opinion, and it was about time that I ended up taking him up. He's low sig, so I don't know if that really affects him, but I did put him in the deck a couple of times, and I look forward to putting him in the deck again. All right, so the next rank up that we had specifically for Rich Get Richer was Dormammu. I actually used Dormammu against Fintech. When I faced him, it did not go well. He had a great counter, which was Doom. The idea behind obviously Dormammu was with the Rich Get Richers, your opponent generally wants more buffs than not to benefit from the node, so therefore he would cause degen if you get a lot of buffs and nullify them on his special ones. And plus I run 5 out of 5 MD most of the time, so theoretically he could be a huge problem, and you don't see too many people with the Dormammu in their deck. And yeah, I mean, a rank 3, he's actually pretty tanky. The only gripe that I have about Dormammu is that he is not incinerate immune, and that is the stupidest that is the stupidest thing in the world. But it was a long time ago when he came out, so hopefully they'll give him the Ghost Rider, rebalance, rebut, whatever you guys want to call it, because this man should be absolutely incinerate immune. I don't think anyone will disagree with me on that, unless they're trolling, of course. But yeah, he actually he put in a little bit of work on defense. Obviously against Fintech he did not, but that does not mean that he didn't do his job. And I'm actually a fan of Dormammu. I really do like the poison and bleed immunity. He just needs to try immunity now. He needs to incinerate immune, and he should probably be cold snap immune in my opinion, but you know, I'm not gonna argue too much if they at least give him the incinerate immune like he should be, right? Because that's just ridiculous. But anyway, here I'm trying to grab the I think materials to finish ranking him up or leveling him up, and there he goes to rank 3. I don't think he's super high sig, but then again I don't think he's low sig either. We'll have to find out. I do not normally use him on offense. He's kind of slow, but his ramp up and his rotation is actually, it's okay, but for battlegrounds it's quite slow, if I'm being completely honest. But defensively for the Rich Get Richer, he actually did win a few matches the few times that I did pick him. So yeah, he's sig 80, so not bad. But yeah, I am a fan of Dormammu, and there you go. Now you guys know for sure I have a rank 3 Dormammu, so watch out. I'm not sure if I'll use him for the next meta, but we'll see. All right, so the next champion we have is Electro. I am a fan of this champion as well. He's kind of a cheaper champion in my opinion, because there's not a lot of champions that can deal with him without taking a significant amount of damage back, and that's the whole point to Electro. If you put him in your deck, you don't expect them to not finish the fight fast, but the amount of damage that they'll take back is probably going to be significant. With the new meta, it actually is kind of interesting. Basically with the new meta, it deals with armor up, so every 10 hits I believe, then you give your opponent, aka the defender, an armor up, and then you are power burned, and that armor up lasts for I believe 30 seconds, and the match itself is 2 minutes. So I guess every 10 hits you're giving them an armor up, so it's going to stay that way unless you have something to deal with those armor ups. And being power burned is not the biggest deal in the world, but that does mean you'll have to do basic hits, which means that you'll have to continuously hit him, which means that you'll continuously take damage back more often than not with most champions. So if you can't get to your special, that could be a problem because you're going to deplete a lot of your health with him. So that's something that I'm considering and thinking about, but I did take him up as a FU card, as a lot of people do oftentimes, just give you the, you know what, here, play with this guy, and yeah, enjoy the damage back, as they have a decent matchup and they end up winning because of health. It's absolutely fun, but it's super cheap in my opinion. But hey, I'm not above being cheap. Y'all know I'm petty as hell, so let's go. The next champion, and this is who I was alluding to earlier, was Valkyrie. Valkyrie has got a lot of attention. She is a very good champion, but she was bolstered because of the rich get richer. If we're being honest, that did bolster her popularity. Now, that being said, will I take mine to SIG 200? Yes. I'm not a big prestige guy. I don't really care about it, to be completely honest with you. But I am a fan of Valkyrie. I think she's a good champion, a really good champion. I don't think she's as good as with the rich get richer, but I think she's still pretty good. There's another way that you can play her besides hitting through the block, which is the main way that a lot of people learned how to play her, because that was the most unique mechanic about her. And I have not effectively learned that way, but her utility, her kit, she has a chance to shrug off non-damaging debuffs, as most skill champions are acquiring to their skill set, which is cool. And that's basically to offset the science champion, so it makes perfect sense. Then she also has a mechanic where if she gets some bulwarks plus her pierces, then she can go completely stun immune, which is also awesome. So yeah, I'm a fan of this champion, so I did take her to rank 3 specifically for the rich get richer. I do not know if I'm going to run her in the next meta or not, but hitting the opponent's block does not count as a hit. So therefore, she could be very beneficial, even though her ramp up is significantly slower, and I do mean significantly. Just hitting the block though will not cause them to gain armor ups, which could be a decent way to end the fights. So if you do have a rank 4 SIG 200, as most people did immediately, that could be a decent little strategy to have. Again, mine is rank 3 currently. She's pretty decently sigged up as well. So we'll just have to see. I mean, these are all theoretical at the moment. You'll have to see what is most optimal for you and your playstyle and your deck at the time. But yeah, these are just suggestions. And again, I think that she will do fairly decently because of her mechanic to hit the block and still gain combo charges and get the furies and things like that with the pierce buffs. So something to consider. But yeah, man, Valkyrie is a cool little champion. I'm still learning about her. There are channels out there that do specifically show you her utility and how to best use her in certain situations. So I am not well versed enough to do that, but yeah, man, that is the 6th and final champion that I have taken to rank 3 for now. I will have another rank 3 video coming out in the next few days with more rank 3s, but I want to keep this one relatively short. Like and subscribe, guys. We are on our way to 1,000. It's all because of you. So thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.